in the last few hours. Prince Harry, as we said, has arrived on Vancouver Island. He's going to be reunited with Meghan and Archie for day one of the rest of their new life together. So let's rejoin Ross King in Los Angeles. Now, reports this morning, all kinds of speculation, as you can imagine, Ross. But most commentators saying they're likely to try and reinvent themselves as some sort of international power couple, say, like the Obamas. You know, post the White House, they've gone on to do lots and lots of different things.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the brand is there. The Obamas template is not a bad one to look to. The Obamas have done a deal with Netflix, and Ted Sarandos is the man who runs Netflix. You know, when he was asked about the royals and would he be interested in Harry and in Meghan, he said, well, obviously, who wouldn't be interested? And a couple of TV execs that I've spoken to out here have said exactly the same thing. You know, if they came up with something, obviously people would jump at it. But again, it has to be the right thing and also be interesting, because obviously we're talking about the royals there and that part of it now sliding away. The question is, how long will the interest last, or will it continue? Because obviously at the moment it's amping up and amping up and amping up. So it'll be interesting to see just how long that lasts.
No, that's very true. I mean, they've got lots and lots of well-connected friends. I'm sure they've been talking about this for months because, you know, this didn't happen just overnight. It took all of us by surprise. But Harry and Meghan knew their plans.
Yeah, I mean, I said that I'd heard last year that there were reports, and really strong reports out here, that they've been looking at property out here, and I'm sure, obviously, they've been talking to you. Obviously, we know already that Harry's done some deal with Oprah, talking about mental health. I think it's interesting when we talk about the acting side of things. If you remember when I chatted with Kevin Costner last year, and we talked about the fact that, and he confirmed the story really was true, that Princess Diana was possibly going to be in The Bodyguard 2, and it was Sarah Ferguson who was kind of brokering the deal and had, you know, got her interested in it all. And at that time I said to him, you know, what about Meghan? Could she ever go back to acting? And he said, absolutely not. You know, she's made a choice. And I know a lot of people are talking about that, but I can't see how she can go from what she did to doing what she did and now what she's going to do in the future. And I just don't think that the acting side of it will be a part of it. I mean, obviously, she's a good actress. We know that. But I'm not sure. But let me come back to that in a minute, though, because it is interesting, and I think people might be waking up to this, which is Peter Phillips. Yes. Little bit connected in the royal family. He's done a commercial for milk in China.
So there we are, that's Princess Anne's wee boy, flogging milk from the UK to the Chinese, who don't normally do that. That's very interesting, isn't it? Do you think we could see them doing that?
No, because I think what they have to do, and again, this is, I mean, we're all speculating, we're all chucking in a tuppence worth, but isn't it interesting, I think you may well agree with me, is that what they have to do is something that's very credible. Because they've got to win back support, because obviously they lost a lot of that. So if they go for something that's either too cheesy or too silly, I think that's where they could be, you know, in trouble again. And interesting as well with Sussex Royal, which obviously is the charity aspect of things. They've got to be so careful about the brand of that. Is it still going to be able to be called Royal? Because then are you cashing in on Royal? Yeah. That's another thing to look at. But I think Josh O'Connor, who stars as Prince Charles in The Crown, you know, there's always this lovely fallback, as we always like to think, what is the plan B? You know, I always think myself out here, I'm lucky now that I've got enough money to live on for the rest of my life if I die next Tuesday. So I always think, what is the plan B? And the plan B for Meghan, of course, The Crown. I mean, you could go and play yourself in The Crown. So it's nice to know that there's always that plan B.
There's always a fallback. That's for sure. I think you're right. I think that has to be a charitable foundation, which I'm sure is what they're going to do. I mean, Harry, you know, I was talking about this yesterday. He absolutely loves Africa, and that's something that you would put his energy into. I think what he has to do is find a purpose. They all have to find a purpose, don't they? And it's going to be hard for him out there in Canada because he doesn't really know anyone. He's got to rebuild his life. They've all got to try and do that. So I just wish them all the best. I just think it's sad. You know, the whole thing's very sad.
Yeah. And also, Lorraine, I think the other thing that some people haven't really thought about is that, you know, they want to live a more private life, but also, and you know, again, some people at home might not know this, that the royals are protected quite a lot more than people maybe even imagine they are, in terms of the media and how that people are not able to hound them too much, etc., etc. So the bottom line now is the gloves are off and all bets are null and void. So, you know, it will be open season in terms of, you know, the paps getting photographs and all the other stories that go with it. So people will not realise just how protected they were.
No, you're absolutely right, and that's happened already. I mean, front page in some of the tabloids this morning, there's a picture of her out walking with Harry, and normally that just wouldn't have happened. But now that they are no longer part of the royal fold, that's going to happen more and more. So, yeah, sometimes it's be careful what you wish for, isn't it? Ross, thank you. Great to talk to you. Thank you so much.